How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
All right. Welcome to F Around Fridays at Colonial Outcast. This is our kind of weekly Patreon segment, but we're releasing it to the public just in case you guys want to check out the normal segment on that. It's only a $5 barrier to entry, plus you get other benefits. And that's the last I'm going to talk about that plug. It's Friday. Again, that is definitely not the next president of the United States, but he's no older than Fly, apparently. And I like this meme because
Focus is.
because this is going to be me on my first day of work next weekend. Sorry, not next weekend. Oh God, I'm already mentally deficient. On Monday, because I start hosting a live stream for Mint Press twice a week, and I have to go to this I don't have to, but I'm going to this metal festival in Houston, and it's going to be rough. So yeah, but definitely going to be me. So my name is Greg Stoker, here with Mark Wayne, in case you don't know who we are yet. And we basically just use this segment to talk about some of the absurd things that are happening in this world as, you know, everything spirals into madness, Lovecraftian madness. And Israel might invade Lebanon this weekend, which would be really dumb, but you know, they're really dumb. The administration and everything they do is in their worst self-interest. So welcome, Mark. How we doing? You're over there on the West Coast. I'm here in Texas, so it's a little later for me.
I guess I'm doing okay for Friday. You know, how about you? How's all the bad news wreaked havoc in your brain over the past week?
Oh, I'm just saying fuck it and letting it ride. Because yeah. Beyond that,
yeah.
The only thing I have that's keeping me going is these frigging ads I keep getting online. So I don't. Oh, sorry, I added that to the stage. I meant to remove it. So I don't know how cookies work, but you know when ads and advertising happens, they look at the algorithm or the omnipotent mind, whatever, looks at your history, what you've searched, and it populates ad feeds with what you've looked at before or similar items. Am I right?
Yeah, from my understanding.
Okay, so why am I getting bombarded with all this pro-Israel Christianity stuff in my ad feed? I'm about to play you a video, but like literally, I just I've been like looking at metal and punk rock merch. So like, what's going on?
Greg, I don't think it has anything to do with the algorithm. I just think that God's trying to tell you something.
Well, God's gonna be waiting a long time. So no, but this is seriously what I've been seeing. I'm gonna show you this because they're getting worse. And then we're gonna start with my segment, and then Mark's got some videos prepared as well. So I'm gonna put this one up. I got this yesterday, okay, and this was from Twitter, and it's one for Israel. I think it's like the Kufi stuff. Right, here we go.
Do you believe the Bible?
No.
And I mean, really believe it. Here in Israel, we are living in the reality of God's promises. History is full of those who thought God was through with Israel. But here in years, in speaking Hebrew.
Okay, real quick before we get into it, like this guy's like the land of our forefathers speaking Hebrew, and then he's trying to sell Bibles. So I'm just like, what? Maybe you can interpret this madness for me. I'm just gonna keep playing it.
A language that was dead for 1,500 years. Miraculously, we've survived attack after
Okay, if you're just listening to this, we've got
remarkably of all,
Holocaust footage.
God is causing our people to turn back to Him in faith.
Okay, so he's saying our people, Israel, and now they're doing like river baptisms like John the Baptist from the New Testament.
Yeah.
People in Israel and throughout the Middle East are hungry and thirsty for a message of hope. Our media outreach in Hebrew and Arabic is reaching millions in Israel and beyond.
What the fuck is going on?
Our evangelistic videos in Hebrew have over 1 million views a month in Israel alone. And our Hebrew Bible app is the most popular of its kind in the world. Over 20,000 people a month visit our Bible website, listening, reading, and downloading the New Testament.
What am I watching? Dude, what is happening? I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Keep going. Is that it?
Okay. No, I mean, I apologize to the audience that we're starting your Friday off with.
I'm not going to say anything. I just want to see you go and just to squirm in torment as you watch this.
Okay.
During this time of war, our humanitarian aid team is responding to the huge needs that have arisen. We are standing with our people, sending relief on a very large scale to those
Okay.
who've lost
Obviously not
everything.
in Gaza.
At a time when the world demands everyone chooses a side, we are
Okay,
coming
but that's not
together
what
in
Jesus was about. Like, I've read the New Testament. I'm not a
Oh, hold on,
Christian,
hold on.
but like, what?
No, let's just pretend. Let's just pretend for a second that what he's saying is just so right on. We're so amped up for Jesus.
Okay. Yeah.
Jewish and Arab pastors who've graduated our seminary
Jewish pastors? What is happening? Okay. Okay.
pray and serve together to show the world the difference Yeshua makes. Our soldiers ministry has become more important and more active than ever
Oh,
before.
I love the music.
Okay,
I just
well,
love the
we've-
music, the uplifting music.
Yeah. We got a fighter jet while he's talking about the New Testament. Okay.
Sending daily devotionals, spiritual encouragements, and
While they're
practical
massacring
help
kids.
to those who serve. We've seen God working in this way in every facet of our ministry. These troubled times are just a preview of what's to come.
No,
Oh,
thanks.
God.
I fucking hate that preview. I can't
All
anymore.
right,
Can I
all right,
remove
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, let's
What
do it.
what is
All right,
happening?
go.
What is happening?
Okay, so for one thing, welcome to my pre-adolescent years in church.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, man.
Yeah, you know what? I realize that you've been through a lot. Okay, but I had to go through that shit. And I actually bought it one at a time. So imagine the humiliation that I had to come out of and realizing that all that was bullshit. You have to understand, it was a deep depression period I went through. Okay. So this is the type of shit that is permeating through the Christian culture in the United States. And it's a very, like I said in the past episodes, it is a very strategic move. Everything that you just saw is a military strategy. That's what it's
Okay.
not a religious thing. It's not a cultural thing. This is all part of a larger geopolitical strategy for Israel to maintain control of the grassroots American Christian culture in the United States to keep up the support, right? So
Uh-huh.
a lot of this is done through what's called Messianic Judaism, right? This is the new avenue of like propaganda of Israel into United States Christian culture. So what you have is in the United States and across the world is what you have Messianic Judaism, which is basically Jews who believe in Jesus but also keep Jewish traditions. You know, they have their services on Shabbat instead of Sunday. They keep all the holidays, but they believe that the Messiah is Jesus, right? So
Okay.
anyways, that's an avenue in which Israel plugs into the American Christian world, right? So they're obviously playing on the Judaic roots of Christianity, which is Hebrew, and Jesus was a Jew, but they're using it to maintain the narrative that the current Israel today is the ancient Israel of yesterday in the Bible, and the attacks that Israel is facing from her enemies is the same enemies that attacked her in the Bible. So it's conflating the ancient struggle of the Israelites, the genocide, the attempts of genocide against the Israelites in the Bible, and conflating it with the Gazans and the evil Palestinians who are trying to massacre all of the Jews around the world, right?
Mhm.
And now, your typical fat Christian soccer mom is watching this type
Okay.
of shit, and she is so inspired right now. I'm telling you, she's wet as
Ugh.
she's sitting home
I
watching
hate
this
I
stuff.
hate that you just said that. But okay.
I know.
Um,
I just, but that
no,
is what's happening right now. Like this is the Christian base in the United States who really is on board with everything Israel is watching this stuff and even getting more fired up for the genocide in Gaza because they see it as an ancient struggle, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I want to take a couple minutes to do a palate cleanser and read top 10 warning signs that you might be in a cult. And since I'm going to a black metal show this weekend, I'm going to show you the kind of, I go to metal church. Okay, so this is the first time Mark is going to see like what I get up to on the weekends.
Okay, sweet, I wanna see it.
So this band's called Batushka, and they dress like Orthodox Orthodox monks on stage, and they play evil music. It's anti-Christian, but well, it's
You're talking
anti-religious
Orthodox
institutions.
monks. You're talking about which
It starts with an
Orthodox?
S, like Russian, Polish, Ukrainian, like Slavic Orthodox. So
Jewish?
you're dude, Christian.
Oh, okay. Say that because there's
monks.
also
Okay, monks are Christian.
well, there's Slavic Jewish Orthodox guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought. Sorry, I'm a big medieval history nerd. Monks were the giveaway, but yeah. Anyways, this is what I get up to on the weekends. And while we have this black metal palate cleanser from that horrendous commercial, I am going to read these absolute authority cult things. So you're going to hopefully enjoy this next segment. And here we go. Absolute authority. The group leader is always right and their word is final. Questioning or challenging their authority is not tolerated and often met with harassment. Exclusive truth. The group and its leader claim to have exclusive access to the truth or enlightenment, often portraying other groups or belief systems as inferior, weak, or dangerous. Isolation. Members are encouraged or forced to cut ties with family, friends, and the outside world, making it difficult to leave or seek external perspectives. Exploitation. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Exploitation. The group and its leaders seek excessive financial contributions, free labor, or other forms of exploitation, often under the guise of spiritual, communal, or obligations or a path to salvation. Us versus them mentality. Manipulative practices. The group and its leader use psychological manipulation such as guilt, shame, or fear to control members' behaviors and decisions. Rigorous control. This is what black metal is about resisting. The group and its leader maintain strict control over members' lives, including their bodies, what they wear, where they travel, and who they can associate with. Oh, yeah. Punishment for dissent. There are severe repercussions for questioning or leaving the group. Unquestionable doctrine. The group's ideals are presented as infallible and promised salvation. The leader of the group promises salvation, enlightenment, or some form of ultimate reward, but only if you strictly adhere to the rules. All right, this is more of a punk rock thrashy beat going on. And the sources for these top 10 points come from the Cult Education Institute, International Cult Studies Association, and Psychology Today. Hell yeah. See, this is a really clever way to get metal fans to go to church. Oh crap!
Okay.
What happened?
It ended.
Okay.
That was the end. That was the rest of the video.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. So
rewind a little bit.
that's
Okay.
what I'm. Okay.
So this is a venue of. You said what type of metal? Death metal. This is all new to me, by the way.
Black. This is black metal.
Okay, and
Black metal is more like ambient and melodic. No. I mean, most people don't know about this. This is very subcultural shit.
Okay, and so everything that you just read. What was that? That was something that they read. What was it that you just read?
That was the Cult Education Institute. Characteristics associated with cultic groups.
Oh, so you were reading that as I thought somehow they read that too, like at those events.
No, they're singing in yeah, they do. They're all their lyrics are in Old Church Slavonic. So we it's
That's
like it hasn't
awesome.
been spoken since like the Middle Ages.
That's dope though. That's dope. By the way, all this is the rock and roll world is completely new to me. I just
It's not rock and
everybody was
roll.
listening to rock, whatever. What do you call it then? Is what you said? Black
It's
metal,
fucking black metal.
black metal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna write that. Hold on, let me get my pen. I want to write that down. Black metal. Okay.
Okay, but before you do, yeah, it's good old fashioned church burning music. By the way, that was a big part of early black metal in the 90s, burning down churches. But don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, I'm not advocating for that. But what were you listening to while I was listening to that when I was like 15 years old?
Dude, at 15, I believe it or not, I know you guys are gonna think I'm a total fucking square for this, but I was not even listening to music that much. I was just reading books about aliens and conspiracies and fucking technology and shit. I was really obsessed with military technology and all kinds of technology at that time. So I was just in the books at that age.
Oh, no, that's not lame. I was actually doing lamer stuff. I was reading like Victorian literature and like British like 19th century poetry while my father tried to get me to play football.
Well,
And then I ended up joining the army. Didn't see that coming.
yeah. Well, the lame part comes in the fact that I was not culturally plugged into society at that time. I was just obsessed with my own little fucking weird world of books and shit at that age. You know, I was writing shit, coming up with my own ideas, weird science shit I was into at that age. And I was completely unplugged from like pop culture completely, you know. But in high school, I did hang out with the punk crowd. That was the crowd that I associated with as far as hanging out with, but I had no idea what the fuck they were listening to. Like they would go see Perfect Circle, My Chemical Romance and shit like that. Green Day.
That's not punk. Oh my God, that is not punk.
Honestly, that's the thing. I don't even know what's punk. Like that's just how
you were like with the Hawthorne Heights screamo scene. Was tonight will be the night that I fall for you.
Over don't make me change my mind. All right.
Wow, you know way more of that song than I do.
No,
Gross.
I saw that
That's not punk.
That was a TikTok trend where if you found an emo guy, you would record him and then put that song over it, and you found a cow,
okay,
like a cow or a cat. You see those videos on TikTok? Like they would find a
I think
cow
I
and had the comb over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a fun trend while it lasted.
Yeah, and so, anyways, my father was moderately Christian, and so when I started getting into this kind of music and this subculture, like it was literally like this '80s video, this evangelical public service announcement about like heavy metal music, warning signs of satanic behavior. This could be you or someone you know, Mark.
Satanic behavior may be apparent, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance,
hell yeah,
a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music, almost to the point of addiction.
Okay, I love how they're playing an Ozzy Osbourne power ballad. This isn't nearly as fucking dark and satanic as it could go. This is like the most vanilla form of like metal.
When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, black or red robes, a decorative dagger or knife, a chalice or goblet, black candles.
Your kid's not into Satanism. He's just really into playing Dungeons and Dragons and having an immersive experience.
A personal
So when I was
diary with a black cover, which is called a
I remember, so we used to listen to this like kids Christian, I don't know, like fictional TV show episode thing that was audio. And there's a whole episode where the father caught his son playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the whole thing was a lesson about how it's satanic and evil and shit. I had no idea what Dungeons and Dragons was until later on in life. I'm like, oh, it's like fucking Magic the Gathering type of shit, you know?
Okay, first of all, no, I've always played D&D and tabletop RPGs, and it's nothing like Magic the Gathering, which is a card game. Okay, we roll friggin' dice.
It's the same category. Oh, come on, it's the same category. It's the same.
Oh my god, You don't
Right?
come into my subculture and try and tell me what's what. I play bards, by the way, and I'm usually the dungeon master. If you know, you know. But anyways, I'm just going to continue with this because they have something dope that I want. And
Yeah, keep going.
Back cover, which is
yeah,
called
the Book of Shadows
Shadows.
seems lit. By the way, I want to find one at a thrift bookstore.
And copies of publications, such as the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals, and possibly a small makeshift altar. If you discover items such as these, experts advise you contact your local law enforcement agency at once.
Call the cops on your kids. I'll be honest, I grew up in the metal scene. I've literally never known anybody with any of those books.
Yeah,
I never met a Satanist. So
that's hilarious.
I mean, watching these like kind of gives me an insight into like how you grew up.
Well, I didn't see that. I remember seeing a Mad TV episode that was very similar to that. It was actually pretty funny. It was a satire on that. We should have pulled that one.
Yeah.
Up.
So yeah, I mean, if we could find it. So anyways, that was my whole video segment that I prepped because I'm like, why am I getting these ads and why are they going so hard right now? Because like Israel's like not in a good spot. So it's like they're doubling down on the propaganda to get people to like mindlessly buy in, even though it's kind of like dismantling itself at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember when we first started releasing episodes, they started putting pro-Israel ads on our YouTube channel, and it's part of their counter, what do you call it? Their counter propaganda. They knew that we were a pro-Palestinian podcast, so they would counter it, thinking that maybe our viewers are on the fence to be like, oh well, now that I've seen that ad,
changes everything. I never looked at it that way.
Never looked at it that way. God damn! Now that I think about it, well,
if they want to waste their money putting up pro genocide propaganda on our YouTube channel, I'm totally fine with it.
I am too, dude. I say blast it. I mean, they are wasting so much money on propaganda. Like, I'm just wondering who their accountant is. That's just looking at the balance sheet and being like, guys, we're spending a lot of money on this and we're not getting a lot of return. So I don't know
yeah, I mean, here's the deal. It's an apartheid state that's like ethnically cleansing people. That doesn't look good in the modern world because if you look at states that have existed post World War II that commit genocide and ethnically cleanse people and are apartheids, well, the regimes don't last. Like Rwanda didn't, like Slobodan Milosevic's Balkan craziness, that didn't work. Apartheid South Africa didn't work. So they have a massive optics problem. And that's why apartheid is so hard to maintain because you have to have so much propaganda, which is expensive. You have to pay so much for like cybersecurity and like espionage tech and spying on everybody. Apartheid is expensive to enforce. And, we're watching kind of like the death throes in a way, I believe, because their economy contracted, their GDP contracted by 20% in December. It's even worse now. Do you see that article about the Intel factory? They were supposed to build like a $15 billion plant in Israel or expand, and they pulled out.
That was such great news when I saw that. And it's funny because it's like, it's not because Intel is suddenly gained a conscience. It's just because, Israel might disintegrate soon. This is a huge risk for us to build a multi-billion-dollar factory. I mean, that's a lot. That's a really those are very sophisticated factories to build. They're not going to risk all that falling to shit. And just seeing how the Israeli society is psychologically tearing itself apart, they probably don't even think that there'll be any Israeli workers with the sane mind by the end of this. Like, so
I mean, but like with the investors, if I'm a shareholder, I'm not even going to look at sociological studies. I'm like, okay, the Iron Dome is not intercepting all these Hezbollah rockets. My billion-dollar factory is not going to be secure. So maybe I should move it to Europe.
What's their insurance policy for the building like that, dude? In a place like Israel. That's. I know, man. No, this whole the whole propaganda thing, like you said, and the other part of that is, you remember at the beginning of this, towards back in October 7th, you remember how they were aggressively going after dissenters? Like
Mhm.
if you were dissenting, they would put you on the Canary mission or whatever. And it was like we felt like we were in Moscow, like during the Soviet Union, the height of the Soviet Union. Like we really felt like, holy shit, they're hunting us down. But then the entire world just exploded into being pro-Palestinian. What are you gonna do? You got to go after all 1 billion of us? It just that's the other part of apartheid states is that the other frustration is that you have to target the dissenters. And you got to really hone in. You got to start trying to either assassinate them, assassinate their character, get them fired. But then when the population of the planet becomes your dissenters, you're just like, oh fuck. It's they're getting overrun. They're outgunned, they're outmanned, and it's like you said, they're in the death throes. This is a bear who just got shot and it's bleeding to death and it's just going through those gnarly growling death throes and just swiping at everything and just it's beautiful to watch in a ways, but then I always have to remind myself that there are Palestinians at the the teeth end of all this. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
But on a levity note, I wanted to I wanted to circle back to our last Fuck Around Fridays, where I showed you about Kamala Harris.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, Mamala,
right.
Mamala Harris.
Mamala?
We just need you.
Okay,
We just need you to be Mamala. You're just Mamala to us all.
But
Freaking
what-
Drew Barrymore losing it.
but yeah, but honestly, from a psychological perspective, how did you read all that? Drew Barrymore's behavior and Kamala Harris's what's the biggest glaring problem you saw with that besides the obvious one of Kamala Harris being complicit in a genocide?
Well, I didn't really spend a lot of time examining it or unpacking it because there's a huge cringe barrier that I didn't feel willing to cross. I was
Well,
just like,
what-
okay, that's weird. I hate that. My internal response is, whatever I just saw, I hate it, and I'm just gonna try and move on with my weekend.
Well, for me, it's a glaring example of, like I said, this unholy matrimony between celebrities and politicians. It's the upper class, it's this elite class that are so entrapped in their own bubble. They are so disconnected from us on the ground that they just come off as bizarre. But in their minds, they're thinking that it's normal. They think that they're being inspiring. They literally think that Drew Barrymore thought that when she was doing that with Kamala Harris, that people at home were like, oh yeah, I feel that. Nobody's feeling that fucking way. It's fucking bizarre. But that just shows how detached they are from reality. Anyways. So all right, do you remember that?
I think that's a great. I just want to say I think that's a great point. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I really want to see now. So that TikToker, she's famous for doing Kamala Harris impersonations. Okay, do you remember when Kamala Harris went to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, and she started dancing to that protest song that was not flattering to her. Oh yeah.
All right, so that's a bad angle. So, all right, hold on. So that was right after her assistant just explained to her what they were saying in Spanish, which was, I forgot what they were saying. They were saying something about get out of here, colonizer, something along those lines.
No, I do remember something as about colonialism. So
look, this is after that expression that you're looking at right now. That's after she was told, and so she's just trying to be like, she's like, okay, this is charming. I don't know what they're saying, but it's charming. And then she's even told, like,
it's so quaint. Look at the locals. Their culture is so vibrant.
Look at yeah. So. Like she has a look on her face like she's a guest at somebody's home and they fed her some food that she doesn't like, but she has to pretend she likes it. All right, so check this out. All right, so that all right, here you go.
All right, what's this? Whoa.
No, I don't know what they're saying. Why would I know what they're saying? I don't know what that's what they're saying. Hey. Wow. Yeah, real fire. The most fire anyone can
Oh, she's great. I love her. I love that TikToker, dude. She does the best Kamala Harris impersonations. Anytime Kamala Harris says something fucking stupid, she just comes out with a TikTok. And it's just, she's my therapy. That woman is my therapy. I forgot what she is, but I'll give her a shout out in the comments.
It's worth bearing in mind that if somehow Joe Biden wins, which I don't think is possible, but if it happens, he doesn't have 4 years left on that ticker. Okay, he does not have 4 years left on the ticker. So she could be president.
I don't know how he's lasted this long. Yeah, she could be president.
Yeah, and at this point with Joe Biden, it's elder abuse. Like it's just abusive to have him keep doing this.
Been saying that for years. I've been saying that everything that Joe Biden is going through is elderly abuse, man. He belongs in a nursing home playing pinochle. Pinochle. That's what he should be doing right now. I mean, give him a desk and make him think that he's president still. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, again,
So, but with Kamala Harris, another video that I love, she was walking out of some restaurant in DC and she thought like some protesters were asking her, like, what did you get, Madam Vice President? And so instead they were asking her like what's up with the 15,000 dead children in Gaza? And she's just like, I got shrimp and grits. It's like, okay, you don't even listen to what people are. You just don't listen. You don't know what's going on. Yeah. That was
why
great.
didn't you bring that one? I didn't see that one.
I didn't know we were going into Mamala territory.
Well, I had to tie it up from last time. But wait, this happened recently?
Last month?
How the fuck did I miss that, dude? I swear, some algorithms I just miss and it's the best shit ever. And then I don't know about it until somebody tells me.
Well, after we're done recording, you can just Google Kamala Harris shrimp and grits protesters and you'll find it.
Dude, that is gold. That is so much gold right there. Dude, it's a freaking, I swear, it's a freaking Mad TV episode, this whole fucking thing. The whole thing.
It's just, we're an empire in decline. This is like the Caesars after Augustus died. They just kept getting progressively worse. There's like Tiberius, then there was like Caligula or Nero. I'm like, and they just get crazier and crazier and more incompetent. And of course, Rome had a lot of inertia behind it and momentum, but things happen. So it took until like the mid 300s, late 300s to fall, like really fall. But things happen faster these days. So I don't think America will stop to exist as a state or a nation, but like the American empire is crumbling. And just look at the leadership. You got Mamala, you got Joe, and you've got the Orange Goblin coming back into power after doing 34 financial felony crimes. And you've got Lindsey Graham and Nikki Haley being like, bomb, 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 Iran, bomb, 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 Iran. Yeah, so everyone's just an idiot, it seems like.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I got another video for you, but dude,
okay, send it.
I saw this meme though. It said, hey, somebody asked, is the American Empire gonna fall like the Roman Empire? And it said, no, Rome had better roads.
Damn, that is freaking awesome. And Roman roads lasted into the Middle Ages, into the high Middle Ages.
You want to know why? Interesting scientific fact about that, about why Roman concrete is superior and still lasts to this day. Interesting fact: the mixture that they made the concrete with had lime in it, and the lime, whenever water touched it, would dissolve and then reseal the cracks. Isn't that fucking amazing? Why aren't we doing that? Anyways, sorry, I like science. All right, so all right, so this okay, here it is. God fucking damn it!
What did you do?
It's not there.
Did you mess this up? Oh, good job, Mark.
God damn it! Dude, for months I've been trying to get this fucking video to work on this for months. It'll have to wait till next time. It was a great one about Lindsey Graham. Fuck. Okay, I gotta figure this shit out on how to upload photos and videos from my iPhone to my laptop without a problem. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you just
Can't believe it.
disappointed. You've just disappointed everybody.
They're
Everybody's
like, God,
sad now.
everybody's like, God damn it, Mark! I really want to see your video. You're just
I
such
mean,
an awesome.
you know what? I can show you a Bangladeshi Coca-Cola commercial because Coke is doing so poorly in Bangladesh right now. Because why? Bangladesh is a Muslim country, and everybody around the world's doing this BDS stuff. So this is from Al Jazeera. There's some subtitles, so I am going to have to read to the listening audience. But this was Bangladesh
Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday. This is a Bangladeshi Coca-Cola commercial from this week. I get it. I don't know much about Bangladesh cinema, but I do know a lot about Indian cinema and Bollywood because I lived in Mumbai for a while. And I was living in Juhu, which is like the Beverly Hills of Mumbai. It's not where they film, but it's where everybody lives or has an apartment. Okay. Here we go. Bangladesh, send.
কি সোহেল কোক দেবো নাকি
Oh.
একটা না বাবলু ভাই আকাশে দেখছিলাম
In an attempt to distance itself from Israel and criticism over Gaza, Coca-Cola put this. Listen to this, guys. For the past 138 years, we've been drinking Coca-Cola. Since Israel's war on Gaza, calls to boycott Coca-Cola have grown. Coca-Cola's sales in Bangladesh are said to have fallen by 23%. Two famous Bangladeshi actors featured in the advertisement. You don't know? This stuff is from that place. Oh, right? So where did you get this news? Both later apologized for their role in the following controversy. They drink it in Turkey, Spain, and Dubai. Even Palestine has a Coke factory. But of course, the company reportedly has a factory in Adirot in the occupied West Bank. Pro-Palestinian groups say Coca-Cola profits from Israel's occupation. In 2020, the UN threatened to blacklist it for operating in illegal Israeli settlements. Coca-Cola deleted the advert from its YouTube channel, but later republished it with comments disabled. Pansies, lame. First, take a sip of Coke, then Google. Al Jazeera asked Coca-Cola officials for comment, but they did not receive a reply.
Oh my god, this is the perfect video for a Friday, dude.
I know. Last time we played the Mad Money like Financial Times interview with the head of Starbucks, and he's like, we've had some unforeseen challenges in our Middle Eastern markets. This is the same shit.
Dude, that is awesome. I love that shit. Dude, don't you just love this propaganda though? It is because it's not working for one thing. So we get that. Well, it's working for certain segments of our population, but for the most part, it's not fucking working. But it is hilarious to watch it trying to work. It just gets funnier. It gets funnier and fucking funnier. Like I am enjoying it. I'm genuinely enjoying this propaganda. It is because once you're like most people, once that that most people are woken up to this shit, and people are so advanced socially, and through their comedy, just through maturity, people are looking at this propaganda. It's just becoming such great fodder for comedy, man. Like we are living in the golden age of comedy right now with TikTok and fucking Instagram, and just it's exploding, dude. It's awesome. But yeah, that's freaking awesome. I love it. I love how they turn the comment sections off too.
I know. It's such pansies, such little bitches. So that's a great point. Everything's funny these days. We're just gonna laugh our asses all the way into the apocalypse.
I can't think of a better opium to handle an apocalypse, honestly, than comedy. Like it's the best opium to handle it. Thank God. It's like a form of mercy. That's like God's like, all right, look, apocalypse is going down, but I'm at least gonna make it funny for you. So, thank the heavens for that one.
Well, you got anything else for me?
Nothing else.
Before I wrap up. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Send the tangent.
A little tangent that we were talking about what I was doing when I was 15. We were talking about the Roman Empire. You know what I was obsessed with when I was 15? And this is gonna be weird. Attila the Hun.
aside from, okay, dude, of course you were. Frigging Attila the Hun was rad. I was gonna say like, I thought you, because you grew up in a Christian household, you're gonna be like, okay, something really weird I was into when I was 15, masturbation. And I would have been like, okay, yeah, so weird, dude. But yeah, Attila the
Oh,
Hun
that too.
also
Oh, that too.
not
That too.
weird.
No, that combined with masturbation. Yes, Attila the Hun combined with masturbation.
Don't tell Jesus.
I won't.
You're gonna make
Yeah.
Jesus cry. So I think, yeah,
No,
Attila the Hun's not weird. What are you
dude,
talking
that shit
about?
was so. I was obsessed with him, dude. I read this book, and I cannot find the book. I rented it from the high school library. It was called the Scourge of Rome, Attila the Hun, something like that. And I was just obsessed with the fact that Attila, the way that the book portrayed it was that Attila was part of some foreign exchange deal where he was adopted into Rome temporarily. He studied the Roman Empire, studied their weaknesses, and then went back and fucking brought them to their knees. The idea of Attila the Hun, this guy, this barbarian, just bringing Rome to its knees through sheer fear was so fascinating to me. You know, and there's a lot that we can learn from Attila the Hun in reference to what's happening to Israel. Israel's biggest problem that it's facing right now, it's not the physical danger. It's the psychological torment that their population is going to be going through in the next year. It is the disintegration of their morale and the blame game they're going to be placing on each other, because you cannot build a society on genocide and ethnic cleansing and expect it to be healthy and successful. I've been talking about this for years. Israel is the #1 nation in the world for schizophrenia. It's true. You will see articles saying the contrary, that Israel is the happiest place in the world. There's a bunch of propaganda out there like that. But when I was in Israel, I saw the psychological issues firsthand. It was real, bro. It was very real. And nobody talks about it. Everybody wants to portray it as being this happy country of democracy and Starbucks and people walking their dogs on the Tel Aviv boardwalk. No, dude, it has so many issues, and I saw it firsthand. Just in trying to flirt with girls at the time, I just saw the issues that they were dealing with. It's dark, bro. So I see parallels between Attila the Hun bringing Rome to its knees and Israeli society crumbling under the fear of their guilt and what's going to come as a result of the bad things they did. Even if nobody attacked Israel in the future, they would just destroy themselves simply internally by dealing with that, you know, unless there's something that I'm not seeing. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but anyways, that's my analysis.
Well, you
But
know, it
other than
turns out that a society bound together through mutual hatred of Arabs isn't the strongest social fabric. So, you
Nope.
know, there's that too.
There's that too.
Yeah.
So,
So, okay.
uh,
Was that the tangent?
Attila the Hun, that was the tangent. Yeah. We could
No,
talk more about
Attila's.
my masturbation in high school if you wanted to, but
I mean, we could, or we could talk about how, you know, Rome in the late Roman Empire, and even in the Augustinian Golden Age, they would do what you said, like exchange programs or adoption programs. It's a whole complicated system, but Romans wanted to get the barbarians on their side because they were having
Mhm.
issues with their own soldiers. It was late stage Roman Empire. You know, Italy wasn't producing the same kind of centurions that they were producing, you know, after the Punic Wars. This is reductive, and any student of classical history is going to like want to die, but you know, we're trying to make it understandable. The same thing happened to Arminius. Arminius, okay, so Arminius was from the Marcomannic tribes in Germany, in what is now today Germany. So he was taken from a chief's son in order to. He was a chief's son taken from. I think there was the Suebi, but from a German tribal leader and brought back to Rome and raised as an adopted Roman in order to ensure the chief's loyalty. And so when he went back as part of the Roman legion, he had this whole like identity crisis, and he ended up siding with his people. And so when the legions marched into the Teutoburg forest, they were ambushed by the Germanic coalition of Germanic tribes through the perfidy of Arminius, who was raised Roman but is really German. And it was like one of the worst massacres of the Roman legions in history. It was the worst. It was the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest. And then you have Augustus Caesar reportedly going through the palace in Rome, screaming in madness, in Temporary Madness, Varus, give me back my legions. And that actually halted Roman military conquest for like the rest of its existence because it was such a devastating blow. So, yeah,
That's
it also showed
fascinating.
it also showed the world that Roman legions could be defeated in the field, and just kind of like October 7th, kind of dispelled the invincible illusion of the Israeli military and intelligence apparatus. Whoa! You see what I did there? I brought it all back.
Dude,
Hell
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. There's so many parallels with Israel's behavior. I was just thinking about Israel and Rome today for some weird reason. I was just obsessing over the idea of the parallels between the two. And I'm going to dig deeper into Roman history. I'm somewhat up to date with, Roman history, but I got it's so vast and complex. I got to dig back more into it. But my obsession as a kid was always with Attila the Hun and how his relationship with Rome and how that went down. But
Yeah. You-
that's but yeah, and by the way, Israel does do that type of thing, this exchange thing where they bring people into Israel who are not Israeli or not even Jewish, and they, adopt them into Israeli society as a vector for influence from their home on their home country. We see this happening with India, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to do more parallels like that. Or Roman.
Yeah, you know,
We should do at least like one little snippet of Roman history in these fuck around Fridays.
well, there was that big TikTok trend, like ask your boyfriend about like the Roman Empire. And it's like, first of all, I'm actually kind of different because I like Greek history way more than Roman history because it's
Lame.
just cooler.
Ew.
I know.
Ew.
I like the.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
I
I'm sick.
lived in Greece. I was in Athens for a long time. I much prefer the Peloponnesian War and the Greco-Persian Wars and the diplomacy between like Athenian Empire and Sparta and the city-state than I like about the Rome. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Also, like you like Attila the Hun. Apparently, I was gonna make a sweaty man joke, like a oiled up sweaty man joke, but I kind of lost it. I'm kind of brain dead after working so much this week. So yeah.
Oiled up sweaty man. How does that come into the context?
Well,
Where did
maybe
that come
that's
from?
why.
Where did that come from?
Maybe that's why you like Attila the Hun so much, right? Because you had a bunch
Because
of
I'm a
repressed
oiled
emotions. You had a bunch of repressed emotions growing up in evangelical Christianity,
I just
and
love the
maybe
idea
the
of
idea.
conversion. I just love the idea of taking down a big beast. I was fascinated with a person who was unpredictable that can take down a machine. Like I was obsessed with rebellion since I was a kid. Anything
Yeah.
rebellious that was like military was fascinating to me,
Yeah.
But that's why I love Native American. I love Native American history and culture because it's just their methodologies just changed the world that were completely appropriated that they don't get credit for. Like our modern military strategies in the world right now are directly influenced from Native Americans, but they don't get a shred of credit for it besides us naming the Apache helicopter the Apache helicopter. That's about it.
Actually, it's worse than that. There was the
Or the
Comanche, the
Tomahawks.
Apache,
The Tomahawks.
and the Kiowa attack helicopter. So
I never
all
heard of the
tribes.
Kiowa. Oh,
It's now retired from service. It was
But don't worry,
retired in the
they got permission from
aughts.
the tribal elders to name it the Apache helicopter. They actually went to the elders and got permission. No idea what the ins and outs of that was, but yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's
they're changing their tribe name from Apache to something else. They don't like the word Apache anymore for their tribe. True story.
Yeah, I have heard that. So okay, well, I think we're at the end of our time. I've got to go and do this production meeting with Mint Press to figure out what the show's going to be called. Apparently, I have to come up with the name.
Oh, look at you! I'm gonna go to Mint Press and I'm gonna have a production meeting. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
really.
dude.
No, Mint Press is fucking awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. So check I'm supposed to cross promote, so I'm gonna cross promote this platform
yeah.
on that platform and that platform on this platform. So check out Mint Press.
Don't you love that? By the way, fucking Majority Report, Fuck
Yeah.
yes. Fuck yeah, that was so fucking dope, dude. You see the
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I was blushing when she said that. Go check Colonial Outcast. I cannot recommend it enough. I literally felt like I got asked out by the most popular girl in school when she said that, dude. I was
Okay.
so
Well,
anyway.
awesome. Well,
Anyway.
Mark's over here fanboying super hard. That's awesome. So we're at the end of our time. I got to wrap up, and it's gonna be a spicy weekend for me. And then so I guess we're going to end the same way we came in, with the wise words from the leader of the free world.
Oh yeah.
Say your mental focus is.
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
And that's a wrap. Have a great weekend, y'all, and hopefully something totally disastrous doesn't happen. See y'all next time.
Free Palestine.